It's vice versa. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that I always say about me. When I get to sit there and I get to enjoy.
That's ridiculous, man. I would just let go of that belt. It's just disgusting. I mean, I told my son to be a real man, and to take his losses like the way he takes his wins. And
was authentic, while Teofimo competed clean. Teofimo Lopez Sr. is speaking bluntly, suggesting that Shakur Stevenson's dominant victory doesn't make sense if performance-enhancing drugs were involved. He points to the frustration of seeing a fighter backed by fans and analysts deliver an unusually high-level performance, while Teofimo battled hard and...
But obviously at the moment, the British Boxing Board of Control aren't. So we have to speak with them, deal with the legal situation and see where it lands. And this is quite fresh. Obviously, I don't even think it's 30 minutes. I think it's more like 10 or 15 minutes since that. And, we'll see what role...
remained clean for the entire fight. Gervonta Tank Davis is expressing shock and disbelief that Shakur Stevenson was allowed to compete after reportedly failing a drug test. He calls out the clear unfairness of the situation, stating that the system failed Teofimo Lopez. As Shakur's actions are being defended,
I don't know why they like this kid a lot, man. No matter what they saying or whatever it is, he has stuff.
Fans are left questioning the legitimacy of the victory. Liam Goff explains how drug traces can remain in the body and still affect test results, strengthening Teofimo Lopez's camp's claim that Shakur Stevenson's victory is compromised. Even small amounts can impact performance, giving Shakur an unfair advantage.
And was still gonna let him fight. Still was gonna let him fight.
Dylan White fought after he tested.
Yeah. Who?
Dylan White.
Dylan White. After testing positive, see, I didn't even know that. Bro, he's a snake, bro.
Allowing him to fight under these circumstances raises serious concerns about fairness and credibility, while Teofimo's clean preparation underscores the injustice of the outcome. Derek Chisora highlights the double standards within boxing, arguing that any fighter caught using performance-enhancing drugs should face strict punishment. However, Shakur Stevenson appears to have avoided serious consequences. Teofimo Lopez competed without taking shortcuts.
I'm just chucking out there. If depending on the amount, that will depend on how long it remains in your system. So, from what I can gather, if you've taken very limited amounts, very little amounts, it could stay in your system. Depending on the nature of the test, if it was a saliva test, if it was a urine test, if it was a hair test, it's going to stay in your system a lot longer. But
and still paid the price on the record, while Shakur benefited from leniency. This situation exposes hypocrisy and puts the sport's integrity at risk, showing how unevenly the rules are enforced. Eddie Hearn calls out the nerve of Shakur Stevenson denying all wrongdoing after failing a drug test. Claiming sabotage only deepens suspicion and damages the sport's credibility. Teofimo Lopez and his team were forced to watch a fighter with a failed test maintain his...
everybody who gets caught taking drugs should get a fucking 10-year ban, man. Fuck everybody. I don't understand why we have to fucking footsie around this
innocence while receiving praise for a victory that wasn't rightfully his. This goes beyond controversy. It's a betrayal of clean boxing and the fans who expect a fair and level playing field. Carl Frampton issues a strong warning, stressing that boxing is a life-or-death sport and that drug use is inexcusable. Yet Shakur Stevenson was still allowed to compete, putting Teofimo Lopez's safety and career at risk.
But do you know what is the absolute liberty about all of this? Is the way that he, after he failed that test on Monday, texts me, texts you, to say, I swear I've not taken anything. This is sabotage. This is just a system against me. Fuck off. It's an absolute... You know what? It makes me sick. Sick.
The hypocrisy is undeniable. Teofimo fought clean, risking everything, while Shakur's advantage was chemically assisted. This commentary highlights the seriousness of the situation and explains why fans feel outraged by the leniency shown towards Stevenson. Tony Bellew perfectly sums up the chaos surrounding Shakur Stevenson. The sport is turning into a circus when fighters like Teofimo Lopez compete fairly yet lose recognition to those who test positive. Bellew's remarks,
high-profile guys getting caught, and it's just horrible. I genuinely, and I know you were about saying, without going fucking fully mental here, I just believe if you're caught with any performance-enhancing drug, you should be banned.
echo the frustration of fans and underscore the absurdity of the situation. Teofimo's hard work is overshadowed by controversy. The sport's credibility is at stake, and fans are left angry and questioning every outcome. A debate explores the absurd explanations being offered for Shakur Stevenson's positive test. Fans and experts are compelled to question his innocence, while Teofimo Lopez's hard-earned effort is overshadowed.
It's frightening for the sport. It's not that it's bad, it's frightening. But listen, this isn't boxing as a sport, this is the circus.
The notion that a substance could simply appear in his system shows how the narrative is being twisted to protect Shakur, highlighting the imbalance and injustice faced by fighters who compete clean. Johnny Nelson highlights the reckless choices made by Shakur Stevenson. Teofimo Lopez trained clean and disciplined, while his opponent jeopardized his reputation and integrity by having banned substances in his system.
If it's somehow in his system from other means, I know that might sound crazy, but I guess we have to give him the benefit of the doubt, do we? I'd like to think we do. But yeah, this is wild. Honestly, this is
undermines the core values of the sport and endangers fighters. Shakur competing with traces of drugs makes Teofimo's loss feel undeserved. Fans are left frustrated and angry, as fair competition was replaced by a tainted performance. The sport should honor skill and preparation, not questionable chemistry and testing luck. Adam Cattle underscores the shock and disappointment over Shakur Stevenson's failed test. Teofimo Lopez fought with integrity, risking everything, only for the outcome to be tainted by drugs. Fans and insiders share the disbelief. This isn't just a personal failure.
I think now you won't know what stays for 2 weeks. I don't know, why would you take it knowing there's a possibility that it's going to be in your system? And why would you take it for our sport anyway?
It's a blemish on boxing itself. Teofimo's dominance in the ring is overshadowed by controversy, leaving the sport scrambling for answers. Moments like this reveal the gap between clean fighters and those who cheat, and the outrage is completely justified. Spencer Oliver perfectly sums up the absurdity and shock surrounding Shakur Stevenson. The presence of cocaine or other recreational drugs completely overshadows his performance against Teofimo Lopez. Fans anticipated a clean fight, yet controversy now dominates the discussion.
Incredibly shocking. When any fighter fails a performance-enhancing drug test, it is incredibly shocking and disappointing.
Teofimo's hard work and skill are undervalued. While Shakur's performance is scrutinized at every turn, the reality is clear. Even if he won in the ring, his credibility has crumbled, and Teofimo Lopez's professionalism now shines far brighter compared to the drama of these revelations. Adam Smith highlights the shock and uncertainty caused by learning of Shakur Stevenson's failed drug test through social media leaks instead of official announcements. Teofimo Lopez fought clean, without any such distractions. The chaotic spread of the news underscores how unprofessional and unregulated the situation appears. Fans are left both confused and outraged.
By what it is, recreational drugs, cocaine, you just go, how has that got in your system? He's got some explaining to do for one, and you think with what you had on the line and with what what was coming up for you and the opponent you had in front of you, you just go like cocaine in your system. It's just...
Teofimo's victory is now overshadowed by scandal instead of celebration. This reflects poorly on the sport and raises serious questions about the integrity of the governing bodies that allowed Stevenson to compete amid such suspicions. Duke McKenzie points to the clear evidence against Shakur Stevenson. Both A and B samples testing positive confirm what Teofimo Lopez's camp has been claiming. The fight was tainted. This isn't speculation, it's scientific proof. Yet Stevenson's win is still being recognized. Teofimo Lopez fought clean, disciplined.
Prize, and I'll wait and see what happens. I mean, I don't know the findings. We don't know. I haven't seen statements really. I don't know. It's come out in the social.
And brilliantly, making the injustice even more apparent. Fans are furious, insiders are baffled, and boxing's credibility suffers. The focus now turns to accountability and fairness, exposing the hypocrisy and double standards that have undermined this contest. Gareth A. Davies reveals shocking details that completely change the story around Shakur Stevenson's win over Teofimo Lopez. 14 supplements, This isn't preparation. It's systematic rule-breaking. While Teofimo fought clean, disciplined, and with full integrity.
This is the point.
How can he give a sample and then a B sample and they both come back positive for a banned substance? It doesn't make any sense.
His opponent relied on a mix of substances to gain an advantage. The magnitude of this discovery casts serious doubt on the legitimacy of the result. Fans and insiders alike are questioning how someone could step into the ring under these conditions and still claim credibility. This is more than a failed test. It's a betrayal of the sport, the fans, and most importantly Teofimo Lopez, who gave everything in that fight. Every jab, combination, and move Teofimo executed is now overshadowed by controversy, highlighting his professionalism and skill even more. Boxing should reward talent, discipline, and respect for the rules. Right now, Teofimo Lopez embodies all three, while Shakur Stevenson faces a storm of criticism that shows no sign of fading. The fallout from Shakur Stevenson failing a drug test completely changes how we view his win over Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo fought clean, giving his all in the ring, while Shakur relied on supplements to gain an edge. There's no ignoring that Teofimo's skill, discipline, and heart were unmatched. Yet the official results suggested otherwise. Fans now have to reconsider.
I haven't been reporting on it this morning. I'm just slowly coming up. One of my colleagues, Jeremy Wilson's doing it for the Telegraph. He's the drugs expert or the doping expert on the desk. And I think there was something like 14 supplements that he was using.
Consider every punch, combination, and moment of that fight in light of this shocking revelation. Boxing is meant to reward talent, preparation, and respect for the rules, and Teofimo displayed all of that. While Shakur's credibility is now in serious doubt, this is more than just a scandal. It's a reminder that integrity matters more than titles or flashy performances. Teofimo Lopez proved himself a true champion in spirit, even if the record books temporarily say otherwise. Everyone in the sport, from promoters to analysts, is talking about it, and the debate will continue for months. Now it's your turn. Do you stand with Teofimo Lopez and his clean performance? Or do you still side with Shakur Stevenson? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The sport needs fans like you.